welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sunshine Zee, aka Zetimbiso, and I'm happy to have you here. For those who are returning, thank you so much, and shout out to my subscribers, shout out to the notifications gang, and if you'd like to join this family, please click that subscribe button. We would love to have you join us. I hope you're well. I hope you've been keeping safe and warm. It has been very cold over the last couple of days here in South Africa. And actually, when I was thinking about it, I realized that seasons remind us about something in life. It reminds us that even in life, there's seasons. It's not always going to be the same. So if you are feeling like, oh my goodness, it's so cold, just remember that summer will come. The same way as in life, if you're going through a difficult period or maybe a period of uncertainty, just remember that that too shall pass. So I hope you are ready for yet another episode. I'm so excited. I am filming in the bedroom for the first time, and I tried to get a bit of extra lighting because the lighting is not so great, but it does create a shadow, so I hope you don't mind. I am keeping warm and cozy and trying to look a bit cute while doing it. So the title of today's video is How I Survived Over 5 years Without a Television. Yes, I don't have a TV. A lot of people don't believe me when I tell them this, but yes, I do not own a TV, so I don't have a TV in my house. Some people find it odd. Some say that I probably don't have it because I don't want people coming over, which is totally not true. So I'm going to go into why I don't have a TV and what life is like without a TV. I will start with why it is that I decided not to buy a TV. Because a lot of people have that misconception that I don't have a TV because I hate it. So the first thing people say, why do you hate TV so much? No, it's not that I hate TV. It's just a decision that I made and I've stuck with it. Even I'm a bit surprised at how long I managed to live without one. I'm gonna start with why it is that I chose not to have a TV. No, actually, no, that's not where I'm going to start. I'm going to start with my relationship with TV. What has my relationship with TV been like? And to be honest, I don't even remember a time that I didn't have a TV. Well, we didn't have a TV at home. So I did grow up, you know, having a TV. And we would watch stories, you know. I think, I can't recall, my memory is not very good about the kinds of stories we used to watch, but I remember stories such as Lisilo and Womankoshing. I don't remember what story that was, and things like that. But I don't know, for some reason it seems like back in the day you had TV, but TV was like for evening use, if I can put it that way. You mostly watched TV in the evenings because during the day you were playing, you know. And I grew up in Soshanguve. When I was a kid, I was in Soshanguve, so when I would come back from school, I would go and play with my friends. Yes, I did have a program that I used to watch when I was a kid. It was one of my favorite programs, and it was a show called Kidio. I'm giving away my age, but I loved Kidio, and I think it was it Mr. Chinwagon, and I think the turtle, I think there was a turtle or something like that. Those of you who are in my age group, please let's reminisce about those good old times. And yeah, normally in the evenings you'd watch like the stories that they had on TV and you'd go to sleep. So those are my earliest memories of TV, and it is that thing that sort of brought the family together to come and sit and watch it. And from there, I think I can recall when my brother got a bit older, he also started having his own TV programs. And because we had moved from the township, we moved to Pretoria West, we did consume quite a lot of TV. And what started happening was that we would fight over the TV. So this is what one of my mom's favorite stories to tell, which is that basically it got so bad, my brother and I would fight so much over the TV that they actually had to buy another TV and another TV. So we ended up, I think at some point we had 3 TVs in the house, so everybody could watch whatever programming they wanted to watch. And I think in my teen years I was very much into your soapies. Isidingo was one of my favorite shows, and quite a number of shows, like I think this is the era you had Yo TV and your Wild Rooms and your Recess and all those kinds of cartoons. So I knew the schedule off by heart. So and in the evening it was generally your Generations and generally Generations, but anyways, it was those soapies, Movango and Scandal. And my friend will laugh at this backstage. She'll laugh because what is the name of this show on ETV that comes at 6:30? It's not Scandal. Rhythm City. So whenever I'm referring to Rhythm City, I always say to her, backstage ya Kyle, and and she knows which show it is that I'm talking about. So yeah, like Backstage and all of those kinds of soaps, I used to really love watching those. Also, I think after Isidingo, I became a big fan of Seven the Line. Oh my goodness. Isidingo and Seven the Line, I think, are probably one of the most ultimate shows that I watched. Like, those were I would do anything to watch those shows. I don't get tired of them. I would watch the reruns, the repeats or reruns. And yeah, that was what I watched on TV. And sometimes, those of you who can remember, in the evenings I would watch Soul Food. Oh my goodness, how good was Soul Food? So yeah, that's my relationship basically with TV until I moved out of home. I moved out at the age of 17, so I didn't have a TV from then, right? And then I went to varsity, didn't have a TV. And I think from those years I realized how insignificant TV was, because I loved TV. I really did. But when I moved out of home, it seemed like, well, you can live without TV. And I lost touch with the soapies, and I think, I don't know what happened to me, but I just found them ridiculous, you know. Like, I'd still watch maybe Seven Dalan, but I think I gave up on Isidingo. And a lot of soapies, I stopped watching a lot of soapies. But this is the time that my parents got DSTV, and whenever I'd come back from school for the school holidays, I would binge on the E channel. Is it 124? I think it's 124. So I'd binge on that. Oh, and then there was a period where I was so into Nigerian movies. Nollywood movies were my faves. Like, there was a point in time I would just watch those movies. And back then, I don't know about now, but back then they used to be like 6 hours long or something. It was really long movies. And sometimes they'd be so sad. So yeah, that's literally been my relationship with TV. And then when I started working, I moved in with a friend of mine, and she had a TV. And in the complex that we lived at, they had that, you know, when they have like that DSTV thing, all you need is to just get your own, what do you call that thing? I don't have a TV, so I wouldn't know, but that thing, the DSTV thing, the box. I think in America it's called cable. I don't know what it's called in other places. So yeah, she got that from, it was like their old one from home, and that's what we used. So then we paid, I think we were on compact, and at that time I think it was I don't know, it was like I think 300, I'm not sure, but we got like one of those compact packages. It wasn't too bad. I mean, we were splitting that in two, and we would watch it after work. And maybe like on weekends we would binge watch TV, and yeah, it was something that we did quite a bit. But when I did eventually move into a place of my own where I would be staying by myself, I decided that I would not get a TV. And the reason for that is that I felt that I didn't want to. Quite simply, it's really not too deep. But yeah, I decided I would not be having a TV, and I decided that it would be a phase in my life where I would explore other things. So for the first time in my life at that point, I had a car. So I had access. You know, when you have a car, you can do whatever. So I wasn't staying too far from work and not too far from the mall, and just after work anything would go. So I think that's the thing. When I initially moved in by myself and decided not to get a TV, instead of getting bored, what happened is that I would just hang out with friends or colleagues a lot of times. I remember there were times where every Thursday we were going for karaoke nights. Oh, that was fun. We would do all sorts of things. We would go to the mall, I'd go to gym sometimes. It was just, there was just a lot of things that were going on that I didn't really feel it. And I think once I got through like the first year of not having a TV, I decided, well, I don't need to have a TV. Another thing is that actually the reason why I decided not to get the TV was also that I felt that I'd be staying by myself for the first time in my entire life. I'd be staying by myself, and I felt that I would rekindle my love for reading. I loved reading. I still love reading. But I wanted to rekindle that. So I imagined myself coming back from work and then just taking a book and reading. But I discovered something, and that is YouTube. I discovered YouTube, and it was basically just, it became my life. I consumed so much YouTube content at the time. And at the time, I think it wasn't even like people's channels. It would be like movies that I'd watch on YouTube, and documentaries, and just different kinds of things that I would entertain myself with on YouTube. So once again, I managed to fill the time with something else, and I still don't feel it. By the way, let me just mention, a friend of mine, when I told him that I would not be buying a TV, said to me that, you know what, it's so noble and everything, but just know that after 2 weeks you're probably gonna go and buy a TV. And I was like, you know what, I'm not going to do it. And I'm one of those people, I think because people told me I couldn't, I think I took it as a challenge to say, you know what, I can do it. And I've always kind of been that person that it's not that I like challenges or things like that, but it's that I try to stay true to who I am. So when the crowd goes that way, I try to say, you know what, let me forge my own way. And I think this was one of those things where I felt, you know what, I want to do this, and I can do this. And I did it. And it was YouTube for a while. But to be honest, also there was just a lot of, as I said, social things that I would get up to. I would come back from work quite late. So by the time I came back from work, which was probably like 7 o'clock in the evening, I don't know, I didn't feel, you know, the absence of a TV. A friend got me onto their Netflix, and for the longest time, it's so weird, for the longest time I never even used to watch Netflix. I don't know, I didn't quite get into it, but I have lately. That's mostly what I consume is Netflix. So that's how I ended up not buying a TV, and I have not had a TV in over 5 years. It will be 6 years in November. I don't know why I'm counting, but yeah, that's how long it's been. I have to be honest though, I do watch DSTV, and I have a lot of DSTV programs that I like and watch when I'm at home. So they have DSTV and they have PVR, so I PVR all my favorite shows, and when I'm there, which normally is like for a weekend, I basically binge watch everything that I've recorded. I watch as much as I possibly can, but it's amazing how after a few days of being home, I miss my place. I miss not having a TV. So I think it's actually also one of the reasons why I didn't get a TV. I felt like it's just something that I probably wouldn't have socialized as much, to be honest. I do wish I had read more in that time. But yeah, I didn't. And even now, I wish that most of my time that I spend at Netflix, I would do other things. I have started incorporating like Bible study and just reading my books as well, and trying to practice mindfulness, you know, where you just sit and do nothing. You should try it. It's very difficult. My brain goes all over the place, but I think it's something that we should all just try. Like 20 minutes of just sitting in complete silence, no social media, nothing, just to be aware of your thoughts and things like that. So yeah, do I think I will get a TV in the future? Probably I would get an actual TV set, like one of those smart TVs, but not DSTV. I don't think I'll ever subscribe to DSTV. One, I think it's quite expensive. Two, they do have repetitive programming. And three, also I think it will just take up too much of my time that I hope to be spending doing other things. So I don't think I'll have a TV in future. We'll see. It's basically easy to make that decision now because I stay by myself, but it could change. Who knows? Would I recommend that you not get a TV? I think it's one of those things, if you don't want to get one, don't get one. I lived without one. I'm still living without one. And I'm absolutely fine. And I think in this day and age where you have all these other things, Showmax, Netflix, and all of these other things, I think there's a lot of them nowadays. You can live without an actual TV set, or even just without DSTV. So I think it's doable. Yeah, don't let people tell you otherwise. I think that's one of the most important things in life, is that you don't have to do things in a certain way. You can do things however you wish to do them. You can live your life however you decide to live it, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think one of the greatest tragedy of the society we live in is that, you know, a lot of people say do you, but the minute you start doing you, people are like, but why are you like that, you know? I've had people call me weird, and it's because of a lot of various reasons people call me weird. We'll get into them some other time, but it's because I just live life at my own terms, and that's what I would encourage you to do. So whatever you decide to do whatever it is that you want to do. Live life on your own terms and enjoy. This week I don't have a random question. I do have a YouTube plug. I don't know how many channels I subscribe to on YouTube. And that's because I just appreciate the content being created by so many YouTubers. And I would recommend that you do subscribe to the channels that you watch the most. I mean, I don't think it's fair that you're expecting people to create content, however you're not subscribing to them. So I'm talking to you who keep coming, to those of you who keep coming back to these videos and are not yet subscribed. do subscribe. People take time to create the content and, you know, to entertain you. Like I am in disbelief since starting my channel. I'm in disbelief at just how much work goes into it. So as a show of appreciation, more than anything else, as a show of appreciation, consider subscribing. So the person that is one of my current most favorite YouTubers is Charlotte. I will include her, the name of her channel, and Charlotte is one of my favorite YouTubers at the moment. I would recommend that you watch her Bridezilla series or her social media fails. Don't watch the Karens Gone Wild because that will frustrate you. If you want to be frustrated, you can watch those. But most of her content is hilarious, and she posts every day, which is something that we as her subscribers love so much. And I find it to be just so positive and uplifting content. I will include her details. But while you go and subscribe to Charlotte, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. I'll see you next time. Love and light to you all.